So guys, what's going on? It looks like Manny Pacquiao is going to fight Mikey Garcia July 11th in Saudi Arabia. It looks like we're heading down that direction. Manny Pacquiao's moved on from Floyd Mayweather, and it does look like his next fight will be against Mikey Garcia in Saudi Arabia July 11th or July 13th, something like that. Which it's not a bad fight. It's a decent fight. It's a very winnable fight for Manny Pacquiao, and it's a big money fight. You know, that fight, I think the Saudis will pay Manny a lot of money. Pay him a lot of money. It's a big fight as well. I think it's a fight that if it's on DAZN, which I think this fight may possibly be, I think it does good numbers for DAZN. I think it definitely could get some subscriptions. If they can get Manny Pacquiao on DAZN, I think it does big numbers. It does huge numbers for DAZN, which will obviously move the needle. I think it does great numbers. I think it does great numbers, and I think it's a good fight. I think Manny wins the fight, but I do think it's a good fight. I do think it's a big fight. I think it's a fight for Manny, which I think he wins. But it's a fight that makes sense for him right now. Because if he was to go into a Crawford, because if Manny loses a fight now, there's going to be question marks. There's going to be people saying he should retire. So Manny's got to keep the gravy train going. And I think only when Manny Pacquiao feels that, you know what, now enough's enough, he should go in a fight with Crawford and Spence, because that he could lose those fights. If he loses those fights, then like I said, there's going to be a question mark around his career. He should retire, etc. Whereas if he keeps looking great against good fighters like Mikey Garcia, like Thurman, like Broner, he keeps winning, then it keeps those people away. Manny's lost before and people have asked him to retire, but now he's over 40. You know, his credibility is going to be hurt if he loses now. You know, and he's old, right? Yes, if he loses to Crawford and Spence, they're the top guys or whatever, but you can look at it two ways. If he was to lose to someone like Mikey Garcia, then people are going to say he should retire. If he loses to Crawford and Spence, although people are going to still say he should retire, they're going to know he's lost to the top guys, so he could still fight guys below those guys. But I think he's still got something left, and I still think he's good enough to beat Mikey Garcia. And then he's going to have another big fight. If he keeps winning, he's going to keep fighting. He's going to keep making money. And I think, like I said, I don't think Manny Pacquiao wants to pack it in anytime soon. I honestly think he's going to carry on for a while. I think we're looking at least 4 fights. I don't think he's giving any intention that this is his last fight. And when you're at this age, any fight can be your last fight, because it just takes one bad performance or you could get old overnight. But I do think he's gonna carry on for at least another 1.5, maybe 2 years, maybe even longer than that. You know, because he does still look good. But I do think that, you know, he's kind of like he's in a position now where any fight could be his last fight. One poor performance, he gets knocked out, or, you know, anything can happen. He could call it a day. It's one of them. But I think as long as he keeps winning, and I think Manny Pacquiao's selecting the right fights right now. A Mikey Garcia fight would be a right fight for him to select, right? Because I think it's a fight which I think he's quite confident he wins, and it's a big money fight. And then he's gonna then if he wins this fight, he can take a bit of rest, and then he can go into another big fight. Do you understand? He's in a great position, Pacquiao. You know, and I think by him fighting Mikey Garcia, I think he knows it's a winnable fight. It's a big money fight, and it's a fight that he can win, or he'll be favorite to win anyway. But leave your thoughts. What do you guys make of it? Manny Pacquiao v Mikey Garcia, July 11th in Saudi Arabia. Are you happy with that? Leave your thoughts. And guys, remember to please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Guys, I saw an interview a couple of days ago with Bob Arum. And Bob Arum kind of suggested that Manny Pacquiao's afraid to fight Terence Crawford. That, you know, he's not... You know, we tried to make that fight before. And Manny didn't want it, and we'll try to make that fight again. But one thing I find a bit strange about Bob Arum, Bob Arum said that he didn't want to make the Manny Pacquiao fight because he was afraid of Manny's health. But now all of a sudden, what's the change in heart? And he said no, and then he said, and then he changed his mind again, saying that I didn't want to make that fight because it's disastrous. He keeps changing his mind. He 1 minute says, we'll try and make that Manny Pacquiao fight, and then he'll say, okay, but I've got a soft spot for Manny still, and I think it'll be disastrous. So what are you doing? Are you want to make that fight, or you? I don't quite understand with Bob Arum where he's getting at. I think, listen, at the end of the day, Manny's shown throughout his career that he's a warrior. And listen, Terence Crawford's not exactly. He's not going to destroy Manny Pacquiao. I think Bob Arum, if he thinks that Crawford's going to go in there and beat Pacquiao easy, it's not going to happen. I think Crawford would be favourite, but I don't think Crawford wins that fight easy. I think that's a very hard fight. Very, very hard fight. I think Bob Arum's picking up Crawford too much. I think Crawford's a good fighter, but I don't think Crawford's as good as what Bob Arum thinks. And Bob Arum thought that, Crawford would beat Sugar Ray Leonard. He thought Crawford is better than Sugar Ray Leonard, which is a load of rubbish as far as I'm concerned. That's something that a promoter would say to hype up his fighter. But I think deep down we all know that's not true. Crawford's not better than Sugar Ray Leonard. Crawford won't beat Sugar Ray Leonard. And Crawford, in my opinion, a lot of people think a 42-year-old Pacquiao can do him in. If I'm honest, a lot of people do think Pacquiao can beat him, and not just that. And I think the fight will be competitive for sure. I don't think it will be one-sided like Bob Arum is suggesting. And one thing I would say is that a 42-year-old Pacquiao wouldn't have a chance against Sugar Ray Leonard, but a 42-year-old Pacquiao has a chance against Terence Crawford. That shows that Crawford's nowhere near, not as good as Sugar Ray Leonard. For me, I think Pacquiao can beat him. If Pacquiao's smart, Pacquiao can beat Terence Crawford. He can. He needs to. I think he can. He can really make it a very tough night's work for Crawford. And in terms of Manny being scared of him, that's not true. That's not true whatsoever. And Manny not wanting to fight him. Manny wants to fight all the best guys. Manny has an opportunity to achieve something he hasn't done in his career and become undisputed champion. So I can't see Manny not wanting to fight Terence Crawford. Why? I don't think Crawford brings anything to the table that Manny is going to be really troubled about. I don't think Crawford has huge punching power at all. I think Crawford's quite, especially for a welterweight, I don't think he punches as hard as Thurman. Crawford doesn't punch as hard as Thurman, and Pacquiao took Thurman shots. Crawford doesn't punch hard. I saw Amir Khan fight him, and Amir Khan's way past his best. Amir Khan got knocked down in the first round, and after that took his best shots, and he didn't really look that hurt, or he was just sticking in there. Crawford doesn't have that kind of punching power where he's going to trouble Manny. If he wins, it will be a more unanimous decision. He's not going to beat Manny Pacquiao by knockout. I just can't see it, if I'm honest. I don't think Crawford has that kind of power. And in terms of Manny, shown throughout his career that he'll fight anyone. Bob Arum should know that better than anyone, because Bob Arum promoted him for majority of his career. So for Bob Arum to say that Manny Pacquiao wouldn't fight him because he's scared, that's rubbish. But leave your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And guys, remember to please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video.